everyone, and welcome to the Something in Mimosas podcast, a show where we share powerful life lessons, a few laughs, and empower women while sipping on mimosas. Now, grab some orange juice and champagne and welcome your host, Gail Dudley.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Today is January the 1st, 2021. Can you believe it? This is Gail Dudley with Something and Mimosas. And I am just so glad to ring in the new year with you. Again, it is January 2021, and I have an exciting guest with me this morning. Her name is Meghan. Meghan is a 32-year-old that is a city girl to her core. She has lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, Gainesville, Florida, and currently resides in Atlanta. By day, she is a digital marketer, and by night, she is a lifestyle influencer and publicist to different influencers, athletes, and entertainments. When she isn't working, she loves to explore Atlanta's food and drink scene with her friends, watch football, or relax with a good book and a glass of tequila. I am so excited to have Meghan here with us today. I'm sure many of you are tuning in. Maybe you are watching television. Maybe your feet are up. Maybe you have a glass of mimosa in your hands, and I'll be giving you a new mimosa recipe at the end of today's segment. And others of you are probably organizing, putting away the Christmas tree, singing Christmas carols, or rocking and rolling to some new sound of music. All right, y'all, let's not delay. Let's jump in it right away. So welcome, Meghan. How are you on this New Year's Day?
Hi, I am great. Excited to welcome in the new year and feeling refreshed, feeling vibrant as you would when you bring in the new year, hopefully.
And how did you ring in the new year on New Year's Eve?
Of course, with a glass of tequila, because when do I not have that? But it was pretty calm and pretty chill. We're still in the midst of a pandemic. We can't forget that. And ring it in the best way I could without trying to be around others. So,
Gotcha. Well, let's not delay. Let's just jump in here with my first question, and that is, now that 2020 is over, what are you looking forward to now that we are in 2021?
oh man, I think the biggest thing, and I think a lot of people would agree, is that I am looking forward to hopefully getting back to what we considered normal before the new normal happened with coronavirus. I'm eager to be around friends and be around people. I'm eager to get back out to restaurants, games, concerts, all of that good stuff without having to worry, am I going to affect somebody else or hurt somebody else?
Yeah, what has that been like for you? Do you want to share that at all? When we're looking at this pandemic, what are you doing to say, okay, let me keep living, but let me also be cautious and be careful?
Yes, I have probably a closet full of masks. A mask to go with each outfit. But I'm very big on wearing my mask and more importantly, big on staying at home. My brother's a doctor, so he fills me in on all the details that maybe people don't want to hear. So it's definitely kept me inside hearing what he has to treat and kind of what he sees in the hospital.
Wow. I'm sure that's a lot. But it's a good thing that you have someone who could give you some sort of information as we are navigating this pandemic. We are still very much in this pandemic. And
Mhm.
as a 32-year-old woman, millennial, young adult, what's one thing you dream about doing this year that maybe you were unable to do last year?
Oh man. Besides all of the outfits I bought and the clothes I did not get to wear that I wanted to. Oh, that's a good question. I think I want to travel more. I was really hoping in 2020 to do more traveling. Miami was on my list of places to go to. That's probably one of my favorite cities in the country. And then I wanted to go to Tulum and, just wanted to travel and like explore. And I really didn't get to do that.
Wow. Well, I'm hoping you get to do that this year with the vaccine out now and the first responders and the frontline workers already starting to get the vaccine, and those who are in the 65 and over. Hopefully, they'll get to the rest of us sometime by late spring or early summer. So, hopefully, you'll get
Mhm.
to accomplish that before the end of the year. With that question out of the way, let's just dig in a little deeper. How will you plan this year after living through 2020? Like, are you going to plan differently? Are you going to see things differently? Are your eyes wide open now? Talk about that a little
Mhm.
bit.
One of my goals for 2021, and I'm a Virgo, so I'm not a very spontaneous person by nature. I'm very much a planner, but one of my goals for 2021 is to kind of be a little bit more spontaneous and be less of a planner and less of a stickler for I have to follow this plan exactly the way it is and I have to reach these goals this exact way. I want to kind of just go with the flow and kind of go with whatever God or the universe puts in front of me and be a little bit more spontaneous and be a little bit more open to new experiences, new opportunities, things like that.
Okay, I love that. I love that. So you're going to be like taking that risk
Yes.
and going for it. Okay. So I'm going to give you a few words and I'm going to rate, I want you to rate these following words from 1 to 5, with 5 being it's the most important and 1 being it can be important or not. So we'll look at each word individually. So the first word, wisdom. How would you rate wisdom?
You said 5 was most important, right?
Yes, 5 most
Okay.
important.
That's a good question.
Hey, it's New Year's. I'm gonna bring it to
It
you hard
is.
today.
I know. I know. There's a lot of like reflecting going on right now. I would say wisdom would be a 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
wisdom be of 3. Okay, and I love that. With the new year, you're talking about reflecting, and that goes
Mhm.
hand in hand. Okay. So we have wisdom, that's a 3. What about mental health?
Mental health for me is a 5
A
for sure.
5.
Yes.
Fun.
Fun. Oh man. This is where my like Virgo starts coming out and they're like, you can have fun later. I don't know. Well, in the spirit of my New Year's resolution, I would say fun would be a 4.
Okay. Travel.
Travel would be a 5. Am I allowed to have 2 5s?
You can have 2 5s,
Okay.
yes. This is the you look, we went through 2020. We can do whatever we want to in 2021, okay? So
Yes.
you can have 9 5s if you want to.
Oh, good. Good, good. Yes. Travel's a 5, especially since I didn't get to do it in 2020.
Okay. What about your career?
I would say my career is a 4. I have a lot of things on my plate. I have a lot I want to accomplish and a lot of revenue streams I want to grow and, people I want to bring money to. So that's important to me.
Love that. Love that. Education.
Education will always be a 5 for me, hands down. I don't think anybody should ever stop learning at all.
Okay. Love that. Self-care.
Everything is just going to be a 5. um I think self-care kind of goes hand in hand with mental health. I feel like they're two sides to the same coin. But for the sake of not giving everything a 5, I'll give
Okay.
self-care a 4.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I always try to put those words out there just to let people know that when we're looking at our wisdom and mental health and fun and travel and career and education and self care, it's something that we should always reflect on. And again, now that we're in the new year, I think it's so important for each of us. So thank you for at least
Mhm.
taking a moment to rate those. Now, with that said, let's get to the fun stuff. You
Okay.
said in your when I read your bio that you sent over to me, you said that you're an influencer. You're a digital marketer by day and an influencer by night. So
Yes.
let's talk about being an influencer. What is that like? And how are you helping your clients navigate this whole influencer scene?
Yes, yes. So I have a separate Instagram and a blog where I share just fashion, like what I style, what I put together. I am really big on makeup, so I'll share how I do my makeup. People ask me about my brows all the time because with makeup on, my brows look very clean, precise, just full. Naturally, they are like you would think someone drew like a little line with a pencil. So, sharing tips like that, and then just talking about self care and mental health. That's been a huge thing for me. And that's, something that I want to share with people is how to unwind after a day, how to like curb your anxiety because I'm one of those people that gets anxiety and I've really had to use trial and error to figure out what works for me and how to keep it at a manageable level.
Wow, you just opened up a new door, so I'm going through with your permission.
Sounds good.
Let's talk about anxiety for a moment. And not that I want to keep reflecting on 2020, but what was that like for you in the pandemic with your anxiety? And then looking at how you work with influencers and do the makeup and
Mhm.
the fashion. How are you balancing that? And how are you using that to overcome your anxiety?
Mhm. Really, all of my projects are just a way for me to kind of escape and to keep my mind busy. 2020 was a really, really tough year, not just the pandemic, but also with everything with racial inequality and that being brought more to light, having friends that are people of color and are Black, that was something that, really affected me as I watched them kind of go through it. So it was a tough year. And then on top of that, I think everybody had personal things going on that year. 2020 was just rough. Really working with my influencers, working with my athletes, my day job, talking with my friends, and then my own blog and putting out my own content was really a way for me to escape and really a way for me to, just kind of forget about everything that's happening in the world or be able to address it in a positive way.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable. I appreciate that. So let's talk a little bit about how you build your content for your blog. And then I'm going to come back over to the influencer piece.
Okay.
So can you share with the audience, with the listeners, the steps you take in building content for your blog?
Yes. So like I said earlier, I'm a Virgo. I love to plan. That is that is my vibe. I tend to plan things out, if not like a month in advance, a couple months in advance. I really take inspiration from other bloggers that I see, other influencers I follow. In my mind, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. So I look at that and then I look at what speaks to me. I'm not going to share something about the 5 healthiest foods for like your skin if that's not something that like or I enjoy or something that I would do. I really approach content with a very natural, very organic kind of way. If it's not something I do, I'm not gonna or use, I'm not gonna tell my audience to do it or use it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. There may be someone listening who has said to themselves or to even other people, in 2021, I'm going to start a blog.
Mhm.
What would you say to that person who's thinking about getting started with formalizing, structuring, building a blog?
The biggest piece of advice I can give, and this comes from experience, stop thinking and just do it. When you continue to think and think and think, that's how you procrastinate and you end up missing your opportunity. Stop thinking and just do it. Find the platform that you want your blog to be on. There's so many free website platforms that you can start out on. And Instagram's a free social media space. YouTube's a free social media space. There's so many different tools out there to help give you intros to YouTube videos or to record YouTube videos or take those Instagram photos. Utilize those resources and just get started.
Gosh, thank you. Thank you for that. All right, y'all, if y'all are listening out here, just start it. Just get to it. Don't procrastinate. Don't be waiting around.
Mhm.
Great information. You can start with your Instagram account. Okay, so let's go back to influencing.
Yes.
Do you use your blog? If I can ask this question, do you use your blog to also be an influencer, or do you use your platform as an influencer and build your blog?
It's kind of a mixture. I started out with influencing and blogging. I started out with my Instagram account and kind of built a little following there through posting pictures, videos, stories on Instagram. I live by those. And then from there, I switched that over to a blog and introduced the blog to those followers.
Love that. Okay. Okay. I hope y'all are listening. Take a sip of your mimosa. We're learning something in the new year. Okay. So if someone says, okay, I'm going to become an influencer, can a person just start doing that? Or what do they need to do? How can one become an influencer? Now let me tell you, audience, she's just going to give you a little nugget. Now she's going to be available if you want to coach with her, but we'll get to that part later. So Megan, share with the audience what you can share without giving all the bings so that people can then line up and pay you to secure your services.
Yes, yes. So I think there's a big misconception with the word influencer. I think a lot of people believe that to be an influencer, you have to have millions of followers and you have to be a celebrity and you have to be in the spotlight all the time. And that's not true. You don't have to have millions of followers. Being an influencer is simply influencing a group of people. And as long as you have content authentic to you, a plan to post it, and, you know, a way to get the content out that's relatable to people, you can be an influencer.
Okay. Can that start with one person, or do you become an influencer when you hit 1,000 people?
That can start with one person. I considered myself an influencer when I had just 10 people following me on Instagram because those 10 people went out and bought clothes that I styled and wore. They tried the makeup tips I gave them. It doesn't have to be some huge grand number.
Wow. I think so many people, like what you were saying a few moments ago, believe that they have to have these tens of thousands of people. I can remember my own family reminding me, even as I don't know, a year ago. They were like, this is who you are. This is what you do. And I think it actually had to take me a moment to see it for myself to say, yeah, that's what I do. As you know, I do news in motion, and that Facebook family has become just that, a family. And if I say, all right, everybody, like this, I was sharing one day, okay, everyone, write in the comment section about self care. And before you knew it, there were over 300 and something comments on self care. And I was like, wow, I guess I am an influencer.
Mhm.
But it started out with just 5 people, and it has grown to a totally different community. And if I remember correctly, Miss Megan, it was you who told me each take a step each day until you get there. Don't look at it as a destination. So first of all, I want to say thank you to that. But second of all, I want the audience to know and to encourage the audience, you just have to start somewhere. And I love what you said, 5 people, 10 people. They liked how you were styling, and they liked what you were doing with your makeup, and then they just started following you. And I
Mhm.
think that's amazing. So I have to ask this question. Have you ever thought about having your own makeup line?
I haven't thought about that. I'm going to be honest, chemistry is not one of my strong suits. So my fear would be I would design something or create something and it would like burn somebody's face off. That's
Oh,
like
no.
my biggest nightmare. What I have thought about doing, and this brings in my techie dayside self. I really want to build an app to kind of help steer people towards makeup for them. Everybody has a different type of skin. Everybody has different types of hair. Everybody has different shades that they need and different colors that work well with them. And there's not a lot available on how to educate people, what to do for skincare, what to do for hair care, what to do, what colors look best on you. And I want to be able to provide that in just like a little tap on your phone and open the app, and there you go.
I love that. I love that. Are you looking to do that at all this year? We're in the new
I
year.
I do want to have a soft app ready this year. App development is something that I'm still learning and it's a beast of its own. So that is something that I know is going to take longer than a year to perfect, but I do want to have a soft beta testing version ready to go by the end of the year.
Love it. Love it. I wanna test it out for you. Can I be one of your beta testers?
Absolutely, absolutely. You've got it.
Great, great, great. Okay, I've gotta ask this question. I ask this question quite often on the podcast. How did you know? What was that moment for you when you realized you were living your purpose?
I think when I was happy and motivated, I felt happy and motivated doing what I did, whether it was the same routine thing every day or something different. I was really motivated to take those steps forward and just really happy doing it, regardless of how much work it took or regardless of how much time it took out of my day.
Okay, okay. If you were to give young adults or even older adults one thing to leave them as we are beginning this new year, what would that be?
Oh, that's a good question. There's one thing I could leave people with. I would say don't let a moment go unwasted.
Wow.
I think in 2020 we saw, for example, and this is going to break my heart bringing this up, but with the loss of Kobe, with the loss of Chadwick, we saw people that had so many moments left in their lives leave. And it showed us that, not every moment is promised to us. And you really have to take advantage of the moment and the time that you have and not waste it, you know.
Wow, thank you. That was a lot right there. That's an entire show right there.
Very heavy, but just something that I've, living through 2020 that I kind of live by now.
Wow, thank you for that. Did y'all hear that out there? Do not waste a moment. Do not waste it. Well, I really do appreciate you hanging out with me on the new year. It's like I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm also finding that, if you remember last year, people were excited about, we were going into 2020 vision and
Mhm.
2020 was the year. But have you noticed that I was talking to a friend of mine last week, right before we're leading up to the new year, and I said, "I'm not seeing any words, I'm not seeing any colors, I'm not hearing too many themes." It's like everyone's being very cautious as
Yes.
they're going into 2021, they
Yes.
don't know. Have
Yes.
you noticed that too? Did you
I
notice that?
have. I have noticed that, and, I do remember making all these jokes and puns, about 2020 and 2020 vision and all that, but I think 2020 being 2020 vision is still a thing. It provided us all with clearer vision on what's, important
I
and
agree.
what we should prioritize.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. I said, "Hey, I think we're seeing. I think we can see clearly now. I think we can see." So
Yes.
once again, thank you. But it's time for me to give my mimosa recipe. And since it's New Year's, I have a good one for everyone. And that is to get some apricot juice, some mango, some pineapple juice. Now you're going to chill it. Then you're going to get some orange juice and you're going to get some champagne. And then you're going to take some mint, some fresh mint leaves, and then some lemon slices. Doesn't that sound good, everybody? It just sounds so refreshing. So, again, I'm going to give it to you. You're going to get a half a cup of fresh apricot juice, a half a cup of fresh mango juice, a fourth of a cup of fresh pineapple juice. You will take a half a cup of fresh orange juice, and then you will take your champagne. You will have fresh mint leaves, and then you will have a few lemon slices. You mix it up in a pitcher. You just mix it up. You put it in the refrigerator and chill for about an hour if you can wait. If not, you just get you a few ice cubes. You just take the juice and make some ice cubes. You will put some sugar on the rim of your champagne flute. You would pour that into your champagne flute and you just say cheers. How refreshing is that? I'm just so excited to share all that with you today. Again, I want to say Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year 2021. I would love for you all to follow me on my website. It is www.gaildudley.com. And that is Gail, D as in David, U, D as in David, Ley. I also would love for you to follow the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Gail Dudley. On Instagram, I am at Gail Dudley. On Twitter, I am at Gail Dudley. And then on Facebook, I am at Gail E. Dudley, or you can look for the News in Motion Facebook page. But enough about me. I want to return back to Meghan and ask her to let us know, let every listener know how they can find you.
Sure. So if you're looking for my influencer page and my blog Instagram, you can look up Leggings Are Pants. That's leggings and the letter R, pants. And then my blog website is called the leggings are pants blog.com. And then if you are wanting any influencer services, anything like that, you can look me up on Instagram at Meghan A. Daves. That's Megan with an H. My parents like to make it weird. Meghan A. Daves, D as in dog, A, V as in Victor, E, S as in Sam.
All right. So I need you to go back and give us that blog one more time.
Sure. So the blog website page is the leggings are like the letter R pants blog at or sorry y'all. I was thinking Instagram and then I was just like at it's the leggingsarepants.blog.com.
Gotcha. Well, once again, Megan, thank you so, so much for joining me on Something and Mimosas. We had our mimosas and we have our something about influencing, about life, about purpose, about not wasting a moment, about sharing your dreams and what you're looking forward to, how you rated wisdom, how you rated education, how you rated mental health, fun, and travel, and your career and self care. I thank you
Mhm.
for sharing yourself with us on this New Year's Day. And I wish everyone a joyful day, a joyful and a prosperous new year. And if I could just share a little something with all of you, I want you to take a moment and Google chalking your door. Again, just Google chalk the door. You will find on there the formula, and you would take a chalk and you would go out to your front door and you would chalk that formula on your front door. Make sure you're looking for the chalking the door for 2021. And what is that all about? It's about covering your home in a blessing for the entire year. So check that out. Until next time, I am Gail Dudley with something and mimosas. And I look forward to speaking with you on next Friday. A happy New Year. Be blessed.
Thank you for joining us on the Something and Mimosas podcast. And don't forget to come back next week for more Something and Mimosas. Follow Gail on Instagram at Gail Dudley, subscribe to Gail's YouTube, or visit us at gaildudley.com.